Welcome to Coull Discussions. Here's a grandiose experiment.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a reaction video to an anonymous video.
Yeah, they put out a new message for the future generation.
So we're gonna go ahead and watch it over. This is like Chris said, this is a
Grand experiment.
So if it comes out bad, we apologize.
And we'll never do it again.
Yeah, we will. Fuck.
Well, we'll still talk about videos. We just won't necessarily do it this way.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and feel free to stop at any time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Well, I imagine Anonymous has a lot of time on their hands.
Dear future generations, that's an anonymous message for you. Be careful. You have been born in a world that it's very hostile, sad, and full of misery and suffering. You live in a world where a network of greedy people and institutions are
Okay, I'm gonna just point something out that bothers me a lot about Anonymous and why I don't watch more of their videos. Is this freaking dude talking? His voice is just—it's hard to follow. It's hard to.
Okay, see, I have no problems following the voice.
It's very
at all.
robotic.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, is they're using a software program to disguise the voice so they can't be figured out. Because as soon as you figure out who one of those persons is, you can go after them, get their computer, and go after other people that are also anonymous. The whole point of this is so nobody knows who they are. Now, you'll notice, though, that there's a huge difference now, because remember that the anonymous party that they started?
Yeah.
And it was a guy in a leather outfit and talking with the Guy Fawkes mask. Now it's back to the digital...
I think those are two different things. I think this is like...
I have a feeling that there was a split in Anonymous.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
That guy, because now the guy has video that an anonymous party or humanity party. He has his own videos and he doesn't wear anything now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's done like a video debate with the presidential debate and stuff like that with Hillary. And,
oh, really?
Yeah. So it was very...
I didn't know that, but
yeah.
I think I think he had nothing to do with Anonymous, and he was just riding on their coattails to go, hey, look at me, and now that people are looking, he's go, oh, look, I'm a party, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Secretly ruling and exploiting the rest of us. You will be enslaved and mistreated in every possible way. The earth has become a human farm, and a network of elites are exploiting all of us.
See, we talked about that once already. The network of elites. We've talked about the wage gap, or how only a small group of people control all the wealth in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this guy here, obviously, these guys get it.
No. It's been one of the talking points about it from Anonymous is that people that were all... He'll get to it. Hit play.
In this video, dear future generations, I would like to warn you about the dangers of the world you are living in. Although you will be billions of human beings sharing the planet, you will be ruled and exploited only by a few. Nowadays, only a handful of persons accumulate the same wealth that the rest of us, this people, have destroyed our world, and will control every aspect of your lives. They will steal your wealth, will persuade...
And it's actually well documented that... what was it? Out of all the again, we talked about it. We actually used stats, but the top 3 people in the world have made as much money as 50% of the bottom people in the world, and it's just like it's not. You need money to make money, and if you don't have money, you can't make it. And the people that have the money are going, oh, look, I can just invest in this, invest in this, invest in this. And well, people that don't have money go, well...
I think this video so far, we're only a minute into it, has come across as like he's pretty much saying like we're sheep.
Yeah.
We are enslaved a little bit because we all wake up, we all go to our jobs. At some point throughout the day, we're there for 8-10 hours throughout that day, and then we get a paycheck.
Oh, yeah. We are wage slaves.
So,
persuade you to kill each other, will convince you to spend your little money in things you don't need, and will dumb you down to such an extent that you won't realize how you are being rooted by a few. That
Dumb us down? Well, duh. If anybody looks...
Whoops.
If anybody looks at their phones, is like, okay, can you name a number on your phone?
Like a number?
A phone number.
No. Well, yeah, I could, yeah.
Not your own?
Not my own, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
My wife's cell number.
And there we go. So
That's about
okay,
it. Other than that...
He kind of proved me wrong, but it's just like, if you ever had to make a phone call without your cell, could you do it?
No. To one person.
Well, yeah. Some people could, but...
I can call 911.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help you. So it's your phone is there. People use it. People rely on it. They don't remember things. Like, honestly, the multiplication table nowadays isn't really being taught to kids. And it's just like,
calculators.
Yeah, you have your calculators on your phone. And it's like, well, you can't do math in your head, so you have to actually pull on your phone, go click, click.
It's amazing how many people can't do math in their brains.
I know.
That's the world where you have been born, and you, future generations, will become cattle like most of us, unless you listen our advice.
Here's the use of the tugging at the heartstrings by Anonymous. Every video like this does this.
No, but it's one of those things is like they're showing pictures.
Well, this is reality. This is what's really happening.
This is reality, and it's like, we'll become cattle. It's like, well, these people have uncontrolled birth rates. In the West, people care about how much it's going to cost to raise their kids. They have to worry about future costs, etc., etc. So they're only having 1, 2, maybe 3 kids. But in places like this, they're having 5 or 6 or 7 kids, and it's just like, well, yeah, of course they're going to become like cattle because there's going to be so many of them. There has to be a certain amount of restraint if you want to have a viable world in the future to live in. The world can only support so much of a population, and we're at 7 billion right now, and
there are a lot of people in our world.
Yeah, there is.
The first thing we should warn you about, it's about yourself, about your human nature. We, humans, were irrational animals driven by instincts only a few 100,000 years ago. Although in the last stages of our evolution we developed a high intelligence, these instincts still play a strong influence over our behavior. Like animals, we are by nature tribal creatures.
And it's true. We gather together, we hunt, we stick together in little groups. These groups might be different than what other people's, like, you're an Oilers fan. You have tons of other Oilers fans, and you have Calgary fans. The only difference is we don't exactly go around killing each other because you're an Oilers fan or you're Calgary's yet. So I had an argument with the guys at work. They were talking about, it's like, I think everybody wants to have a happy life and everybody wants to be safe and secure. And then he went on to name a couple other things, and it's like, well, people in the Middle East have different ideas of what safe and secure is, what happiness is.
Everybody's view of happiness and safety is...
So just because you have these ideas doesn't mean that everybody else has the same... prescribes to the same thoughts.
And I think these elitist people, like the elite people, are leaders.
Yeah.
I always use quotes. Use those differences to divide us.
Oh, they do, and that's smart thinking and part of leadership.
Yeah, if you want to keep us under control, definitely. Definitely.
Prone to not trust outsiders and get into conflict with them. We are territorial. We are possessive. We have strong ego, a huge sexual appetite, and all these instincts will make you prone to fight and compete with other fellow human beings. To prevent your animal nature from taking control of yourself, you will need to meditate. You will need to spend some time a day looking inwardly and becoming aware of yourself.
I've always said that. I think you should always look inward when there's any kind of conflict or any kind of anything that needs to be decided. You should always look at yourself first before you put, and a lot of people put the blame out. Everybody puts the blame. It's somebody else's fault. It's somebody else's fault.
If something happens, the first question you should go is, did I do that?
What did I do? Did I do something?
What did I do wrong? And then once it's shown that you didn't do anything wrong, then you can move on.
Yeah.
But you can't blame other people.
But that's what everybody does nowadays.
No, and that's the thing. And we make it so easy to be victims in this world. It's like if you're not a victim of this, it's like, oh, there has to be something you're a victim of, and it's like, no, you can just live your life.
Self-awareness is the only tool that will allow you to transcend your irrational animal nature and become an enlightened being, dear future generations, unless you become aware of your own existence. Chaos, suffering, and destruction will reign your lives. The media programming. You will see that in the houses there are electronic devices transmitting moving images and all kind of programs. You will soon realize that the people spend most of their times watching at these screens. Be careful.
Well, it's very true. How many of us sit at our idiot box and watch reality TV?
All the time.
Like reality
it's not
TV.
Real though. Like that reality is not.
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Reality TV is something we all sit there and watch and cheer on and actively want to go, oh, I want to be a part of that. And it's like, how many shows that have some semblance of intelligence to them get canceled because they're too smart? You know, too many shows that actually showed some level of, oh, that what made me think. And people don't watch them because it's so much easier to be dumb.
Yeah.
Unless you want to become a cattle, don't do like them. And no, I will tell you why. These devices are used by the elites to achieve basically 3 goals. The first one is to distract you. The TV is a great invention.
Yeah, the TV is a wonderful invention. I have been fighting for so long that after a while it's just like, you know what? Being cattle isn't that bad.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta wonder, like, if you don't have enough people to make a change, like.
But yeah, it's like, so I've been trying to point things out and be different, and after a while, I've been like, I've given up in some cases and just become cattle like everybody else. Like, I have one of these. I'm one of those people that do this now, and it's just like the whole reason why I didn't want to get one of these is because I knew I would do this. And I was trying to avoid it, but now that I'm part of it, it's like, well, fuck you.
Very useful for the elites.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
You anonymous and
Advertisement. All right.
V is a great invention. Very useful for the elites, since they can achieve to have all the population distracted, staring at a screen, entertained with a virtual reality, which will ensure that you don't pay attention.
Notice that immigrants always have cell phones? It's like...
Well, everybody has a cell phone now,
but okay, these are these people that are supposed to be down on their luck, hard up, trying to make ends meet and survive. Yes, I get it. The cell phones might be a necessity, but the affluence of cell phones amongst the immigrants...
It's like one of the first things we're given, or we get nowadays, you know what I mean? It's one of the first things, like, oh, you're coming of age or becoming an adult, you need a cell phone so we can get a hold of you, and it's like, it's like the TV when it first came out, the idiot box. Why is it called the idiot box? Because you don't use a lot of thinking to watch it. You just sit there and go.
That's why I use my idiot box for video games.
Same thing.
Into the real world, your distraction give the elites the chance to exploit you.
But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
The second goal of the TV is to misinform you. Through movies, news and documentaries, the elites will give you a fake view of the world you live.
Documentaries. How very true. Do you know how many documents are made nowadays, and a lot of them are just full of shit?
Like
and
documentaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, they all come from a side of how they want you to view it.
Well, no.
They're not.
Like, again, having discussions with a guy at work, and I'm like, oh, why do you believe this? It's like, well, I watched this, and I watched this, and I watched this, and I watched this. And I'm like, I watched that. I watched that, and I watched that. And I did not come to the same conclusion that you did. And he looked at me and went, how could you not?
Well,
and I'm like, because it's bullshit.
It's all how you view it. It's all how you your opinions. It's all, truth is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, no.
I mean?
People look for things to verify how they think. And it was funny. It's so great because he showed me this clip from one of the documentaries. He showed me a clip and he says, well, that's true. And then the next, I went home. I looked it all up, and then I went back to him the next day, and then I showed him, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And he's like, show me sources. So I showed him all the sources that I went to, and he's like, oh, shit, that's all wrong. I'm like, yeah, it's a bunch of shit. Oh, my gosh. How the hell can you not sit there and go, well, I know that's bullshit.
Well, it's like news. It's like news nowadays. Before Donald Trump came in, you thought, oh, CNN or NBC are places to go to watch and get the right news, unbiased news. But then you see them and you realize that they're biased.
I've known news has been biased for years.
Because we
I've
have a
always
brain.
taken news with a grain of salt.
That's because here at Coull Discussions, we think for ourselves. Most people don't. They look at the news and they go, okay, this is how it is. And now it's more evident now that they're biased. News outlets are biased, and they project their own views.
And I have no problem
they don't want you to understand.
They want to take the news from a certain standpoint.
But then they should
that's
tell
not a big deal. But we here at Coull Discussions is like, I say, I'm from the right, and I talk from the right. This is how I view the world. You can go out there and look at things and view the world a different way, and I understand that's the way it's
we're just opinions.
Yeah.
I come from a view of me.
Anarchy.
I don't come from it.
And the reality, and therefore, they will implant in your mind lies and propaganda, in order to turn you into an ignorant, submissive citizen, unable to comprehend the world around him, and unable to become aware of his condition of slave.
So if you want the truth, go to your gurus. Go to yourselves, because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell.
Another application of the TV will be to bombard you with images that will implant in your mind values, complexes and aspirations that will turn you into a superficial and stupid human being. Through the TV and the media, you will be programmed like a robot to develop behaviors that benefits the elites. You will be persuaded to spend your wealth in things that you don't need. You will be brainwashed to feel unhappy with yourself, so that you will spend all your life looking yourself on the mirrors.
That's truth as well, right there. We're all projected, and we're all shown images and shown how our life is supposed to be. And if you don't live that, you're like subpar. You're if you don't have the white picket fence house, if you don't have, you are in a smaller class.
Children with a dog.
Like, you don't have 2 cars. You don't have, you know what I mean? And everywhere you look, that's how people look, but you don't know the person's situation. You don't know why they don't have kids or why they don't have a house or anything like that.
Instead of looking the world you live in, you will be implanted needs that will keep you focused on irrelevant things that mean nothing in the scheme of the entire world. Another thing the elites will do is to use propaganda, lies, and false flag terror attacks to try to implant in your mind hate.
Did you hear that word? False flags. We talked about a show, a bunch of false flags.
And the thing is, I never heard of false flags until like maybe just not that long before we talked about that one on that episode, and I was like, again, go check out the episode, but it comes down to this: is like, do you really think your government's that smart to do that?
hatred towards other fellow human beings. The elites have created an unfair economical system that only benefits a few, and to prevent the masses from raising against them, they will try to keep you divided and confronted with each other. Be careful, and be aware of the intentions of the countless messages promoting hatred that will bombard you since the first day you will be born. The strength of the elites lies precisely on your hatred towards your fellow human beings.
Now, to balance the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences. Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and
the only thing about that kumbaya message right there is like, oh, if we got rid of the elites, people are still going to think the way they think. It's not all of a sudden the elites stop telling us that we shouldn't feel this way. We're not going to go, oh, I love you now.
Yeah.
We're still going to think like this. That's part of the problem.
politicians are ever talking about the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
Finally, you will live in a society.
That's like truth almost. That's like the more, there's so much truth behind that, and everybody always sits there and goes, "Oh, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't look at other people with race and with income and stuff like that." Like when
we all judge
people. When judging somebody and looking at them differently because of their income or education is no different than judging and looking at somebody different because of their skin color or their sexuality. And we always talk about how we want to eradicate racism, but we never talk about how we want to eradicate judgment on education and income. You know what I mean? It's like, it's no different. No different. Hate is all around.
That will surround you with countless.
There's another ad. Oh my goodness.
What the hell?
Something is going on here.
But we're not.
You will live in a society that will surround you with countless distractions. The elites will want you to spend your life entertained, distracted, unaware of the important political events that are unfolding around you. They will surround you with amazing video games, with virtual
video games.
You see? Yeah.
Okay, again, we have told you, if you want to make a political change, get involved in politics. If you don't like the laws, get involved in politics. Because, unfortunately, we've seen some grassroots movements here in Canada. Like when I first was able to vote, we actually had a rift in the in one of the major parties that made it happen so the Liberals were in control for a long period of time. But it was a grassroots movement called the Reform Party that was trying to change the system. And you could see the divide in the country about East and West at that point in time. And that really pointed things out to hopefully a lot of people, but
Obviously it didn't, because we went back to the same way that we were before.
reality, with drugs, with big variety of TV programs, pornography, and distractions of all kind. You will be exploited since the first day you are born, and entertainments. It's one of the tools the elites will use to keep you distracted and apathetic towards the destruction and misery around you.
And why is that? It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum, and he begins to throw the Christians to the lions, and he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor.
So dear future generations, as you can see, this world is a conspiracy against you, a conspiracy to prevent you from unleashing your full potential as a human being, a conspiracy to turn you into cattle, into submissive, apathetic, ignorant creatures. So, future generations, if you don't follow our advice, you will surely become ignorant, like most of us, and destruction and suffering will keep plaguing the earth.
Did they offer us advice?
Not really. I don't think they gave 1 ounce of advice.
Okay,
just...
no. It's possible
Yeah.
that they have advice in other videos.
Maybe.
But really, they didn't say...
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I was...
We have destroyed the planet, because we have been victim of this conspiracy, which has prevented most of us to learn the right knowledge and wake up. And you, future generations, will surely follow the same path, unless you pay heed to our advice. So please, become self-aware, and meditate a little bit every day. Stop watching screens, and don't let the elites to turn you into a machine. Finally, dear future generations, you will need to be compassionate. Don't look at other disoriented human beings with hatred. You need to understand that we are all one. We are all different manifestations of a same being.
God's golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Only ideologies, prejudices and fears separates us, and hating each other. It's the most stupid mistake humanity have done since the beginning of times. No, humans of the future, don't do the same mistake. Don't commit the same errors of killing each other like we did. Be united, spread love, since wars and division, as you have seen, have destroyed our world. Dear future generations, I hope you will learn from the mistakes of our past. I am sure you can do better than us. Good luck. We are anonymous, and we are awake. We do not forgive, and we do not forget. So, expect us.
So guys, we just wanted to do a little reaction video to this Anonymous, because I found it. I was having some beers one night, watching the hockey and watching the YouTubes, because that's what I do. I look at 2 idiot boxes at the same time.
I'm just as guilty of doing that, actually.
I watched this video and I thought it was very interesting because I do. This video, some people make it sound like it's a huge conspiracy. I agree with a lot of points that they had in this video of we are very, from a young age, we're taught to do this, X, Y, Z. We all wake up, we go to school, and then in adult life, we wake up, we go to work, and so it's a very, we're being, in a sense, indoctrinated to, is the right word? To just follow along, and there's a few of us who go off and do our own thing, and I think for me, you should always ask why. You should always question and not be scared to question the elites or the authority figures, even at your job. You should ask why. If your boss tells you to do something, it's not a bad thing to ask why, but you're taught, don't ask why, just do as you're told. So I thought it was a very good video.
I didn't.
No?
No. Okay. The good points is reflect upon yourself, and project yourself upon the world. It's, as I said, God's golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. In regards to the hatred, it's again, God's golden rule is, do unto others as you want to do unto yourself. God's rule says love God and love yourself as you love God. And then if you love yourself...
You don't have to love God. You can just love yourself.
Just saying,
If you want to believe religion, that's the thing. That's why I live my life by the motto
it's still a golden rule of do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
As long as you don't hurt anybody else, do whatever you want.
But that's the doing unto others. That's that whole point there. If I don't want you to hurt me, I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah, but if you want to have sex with men and I don't want to have sex with men, I can't tell you not to have sex with men.
Right.
So if I have sex with women. Yeah. It's a belief, right? I can believe what I want. You can believe what you want, as long as we don't hurt each other.
Yes.
It is the same thing. I just don't have a God that tells me it. Because I don't need a God to tell me it. You know what I mean? But I thought it was a decent video. I thought it had some good points.
But I just get this feeling that Anonymous is lost its luster. They're just as lost as everybody. Just the impression I get.
No. I think you need to.
I think Anonymous is lost themselves and they're trying to grasp at
I don't look at Anonymous as I don't look at them and go, oh, this is a group I want to follow. Mm-hmm. I look at this video. I look at videos like this. I look at news. I look at articles. Anything I read, I take points from it and I go, well, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. And I kind of look into it and I come to my own conclusions. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people should do that more. Mm-hmm. Was our video skipping there, or was he having a stroke?
No, okay. Again, this is we agree to disagree. It's like I've watched the video with her 4 times now, and I still don't. I get the point of sending a message to the future, but it's one of those things of if we don't change ourselves, our future isn't going to change either.
No.
So
people don't learn from the past. Just look at your life and go, have I learned my lesson from those stupid... Of course, when you're older, you don't do as many stupid things, But when you're younger, you don't learn from your mistakes. When you're older, you just go, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, true enough.
Guys, don't forget to put a like, a subscribe, because we do... maybe we'll do some more of these reaction videos. Maybe we'll do some funny ones. Who knows? This was a grandiose experiment.
Yeah, it was.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We did. See you later.
Bye.